Hey, welcome to the live stream. We're live on both YouTube and Facebook right now. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, I'll put the chapters down below so you can skip ahead to whatever questions you want to hear the answer to. And if you have any questions, comments, put them in the chat box below. We'll be answering a whole bunch of those tonight. So we'll jump right over to the chat here. Louise says, congrats on the new dog. So yes, as you saw in the title, we brought another dog home. However, it's just a test.
Yeah. Here, when you try to adopt a dog, it takes a whole process. It's not like you like it and you keep it. Right now, we are at that lack of time where we bring her home and see how everything goes with Laska, because of course we want a dog that Laska likes, where she can play with and have a good relationship. So she's been here for some hours. At the very beginning everything was weird but now Dale's sleeping. She's sleeping right there. And Laska is sleeping in the kitchen in her corner. She loves that corner. We don't know why. We're always trying to bring her with us, but she all the time likes to sleep in that corner.
It's annoying though, because Laska's corner is right in front of the pantry. So she's always like laying in front of this place where we always need to open the door.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, she's pretty calm. We fell in love with her immediately as we saw her. And yeah, we haven't made a final decision about her, but we're just
we're in the trial period.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. This morning, Maya's in bed, and I'm like, hey, Ma, you want to go for barbacoa this morning? So we went for barbacoa, and we went to this pretty cool place. It's called Hacienda Don Lole or something like that. Like far northwest part of the city. We drive all the way out there, and then we arrive to this big brick hacienda. They have horses there, huge lines. There were so many freaking people.
Yeah, he told me like, oh, you should go out of the car and go and leave our names with the hostess. Yeah, I forgot the name. And I was like, okay, cool. So I arrived and I was so lost because I've never been there. And I asked like, should I give you your name? And everybody was like, no, the lane is back there. And I was like, what's going on? Because I just saw a bunch of people, like 100 people waiting there. And I was like, you kidding me? So I started like walking to the end of the line, and it literally was like 100 people waiting to get inside of the restaurant. So I texted him and I was like, well, love, it's 100 people here waiting. Do you think it's worth it? Because I've never been there. And he never answered to me. So I stood there.
I was parked in the car.
But I was like, what should I do? Should I go to the line and wait, or should we leave? I was so lost. So anyway, we stood there. Luckily, the line was like walking pretty fast.
Yeah, we only ended up waiting like 35 minutes despite this ginormous line. But then after we arrived, lots of people were coming, and the line behind us got really, really long. So I bet some of those people were waiting for at least 90 minutes. But anyway, we
went and we had a barbacoa. And after that, we wanted to go to one of our favorite tea stores, which is Golgoncha.
It's for like boba.
Boba.
It's like so good. It's
bubble tea. Yeah.
They only have one location though, and it's in Juriquilla, and we don't live there anymore. So we don't get to go very often, but
yeah, we were really close, and he was like, would you like to have a goncha? And we both wanted one. So we went to Goncha, and I just remembered that there at Juriquilla, there was a Christmas bazaar, which is basically a place where you can find like
kind of like a little market.
Yeah, like a little market, like local market, and they were selling yearly and a lot of stuff, food and Christmas decoration, dresses, whatever. So we saw that they have like a pet area or dog area, and I was like, you know what? I would like to go, and maybe because I've heard that on Facebook that they were going to be selling cookies and some mugs where you can buy it and help people, like abandoned people, with abandoned dogs with their treatments and
Uh-huh.
vaccines and everything. So I was like, you know what? I would like to buy something and help dogs from the street buying maybe some cookies or something like that.
As it turns out, though, this is at the Chedraui Selecto, the grocery store in Juriquilla, and there they were having puppy adoptions. So
Yeah.
we went over and saw the puppies.
And saw her and another dog which was pretty similar to her, and she was super friendly. We both like it, and it was like this is weird because we were looking for some options. Of course, we didn't want it to rush in the process of getting a new dog or something like that, but we were like, okay, maybe this is an option. So we took her for a short walk at the Chedraui parking place, and we noticed that she was a pretty good dog, but also she was so stubborn. If she wanted to, if she didn't want to walk,
she wouldn't move.
She wouldn't move. She was like,
and if you pulled her, she would like pull back the other way.
Yeah, so we were thinking about it because we were trying to figure out if we wanted to get the male or her. So at the end, we decided to keep her. So we talked with the adoption responsible and asked her if we could bring her home for today and give it her back tonight. So she would,
or maybe give her back tonight.
So she could meet Laska, and
because Laska wasn't with us, so we
Yeah.
wanted her to meet Laska. So yeah, we took her home, and then as soon as she got in the car, she fell asleep. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, we were really concerned because we want to travel more, and it was like, okay, maybe getting a new dog is going to make traveling much harder. But this dog immediately fell asleep where we were in the car, and after that we decided to go to Petco because we wanted to buy some cookies for Laska. And so we went inside of the store, and she was barking to the dogs, and he told me like, you should go first and buy the cookies because I knew where they were. So I was like, you know what, this is a costume contest for dogs, maybe we should get in. So he grabbed her up, and we went inside of the Petco, and I was grabbing the cookies, and then he told me like, you know what, the dog has something in its mouth, and I was like, what is it? So basically,
she stole a bone.
She took a bone, like they were like some bones in
on the shelves, and then she just grabbed one and eats the whole thing.
She ate the whole thing. We were trying to take her out of her mouth, and she ate it. It was like this size bone, and we were like, she ate it, and we didn't even notice like in 2 minutes. So we grabbed the cookies for Alaska, and we went to the checkout, and we were like, we want to apologize. Could you please like charge another bone like this because she just stole it and ate it. And they were laughing so hard. So.
But then we brought her home, and I have a video for you guys of the girls playing. So.
I heard your playing.
Yeah. Oh, Laska, be careful. Those are Laska's playing sounds. Huskies kind of sound like they're fighting. All right, so yeah, that's them playing. So it started off as them playing, and then they started fighting like crazy after like some bones came out, and they both wanted the bones, and they were both super aggressive. So then we separated them, and then
we took her, the new dog, out of the yard because of course Laska had to stay inside. I mean, she's the owner of the house, and we wanted the new dog to be sure about that. So we took her out to the yard so Laska could stay inside. And I think that made the new dog realize that they were like some kind of, I don't know, like she has to respect Laska, otherwise she will be outside. And after that, we decided to give her a second chance, And
because we were like, oh, they're so aggressive with each other, and this new dog is like so aggressive. So we were talking, should we take her back tonight? But then, like, after giving them a second chance, and they got along better again. So it's like,
yeah,
okay,
much
we'll give it a
better.
chance.
Like they were playing, and but not like trying to hurt each other. And this dog is actually super young. She's 6 months old, so she has a lot of things to learn. But actually, we discovered that she was pretty clean because she went outside to pee and things like that. So she was not doing a mess inside of the house. And they play a little bit more with Laska, and now they're sleeping like her in the couch in Laska at her spot. And everything's in order. So we would like to figure out how it's going to be.
Claudia says, making Laska young again. Yeah, Laska's going to turn 13 years old in 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks and 1 day, the day after Christmas. But yeah, now they're both exhausted. Gary says, enjoyed your video from Tlalpujahua. Now I want to go. Yeah, if you guys didn't see that video from yesterday, go check it out. Go watch that. We'll still be here on the live when you come back. It was fun. Crazy. This place is insane. Like, got to be one of the most unique places that I've been to in the whole country. And Gary, thanks for the super sticker. Really appreciate that. First super sticker of the night. Nice sparkling water, big boy. Yeah, I like it. What could I say? You guys will be stuck with another dog.
What does that mean?
That we're just gonna have to keep her, basically. Someone had a question up here. I'm trying to find it. Rock Doc, my wife and I will be vacationing in central Mexico next week, and I will be spending 2 nights in Queretaro. Any recommendations for restaurants and must-see attractions? Oh, if you want like a really, really great restaurant, it's not cheap. It's like $15 or $20 a plate. So it's like a special occasion restaurant. At least for us, we went on a month anniversary. It's called Cabo Sierra. I'll put that in the comments, but
we both fell in love with the restaurant. I mean, service is excellent, and food it's really, really good as well.
Yeah, really great place. Another one is B House. That's the letter B, house, and both of those have all kinds of food. So kind of whatever you're in the mood for: pasta, steak, Mexican food, whatever.
Seafood. Yeah.
Any other recommendations? I mean, if you'd like Indian food, Zyka is really great.
Zyka is really good. Or just go for tacos, like taconazo. Or if you're at Centro, you should visit like for example, it's because I was going to recommend tacos de copete, but yesterday they weren't open.
Yeah, they weren't open.
Because we love those tacos, and they're like, they have been there for almost 50 years or something like that, and they're pretty good, and we love them. They're at Centro, but lately they haven't opened, so that's really sad because they were really good.
And I'm putting another comment down in the chat. 1 to 6 p.m. every day, 180 pesos. Okay, so another great option, if you're in Centro, I think this is the best deal in Centro for food. It's at Almacén Hercules. Great food every single time. Their menu changes every week, at least the menu that they offer, like for the special of the week. But you get a beer or an agua fresca, you get the appetizer, your main course, and a dessert, all for 180 pesos. or about $9 US, and it's
portions are huge.
yeah, we leave stuffed every time, and the food is so good.
Yeah.
For like that's got to be one of the best deals in the city. Every day from 1 to 6. And of course, some weeks we like it more than others because it changes every week.
But we usually love whatever they have. Sometimes, especially on Mondays, we are out and we are like, what are we gonna have for lunch? And sometimes they don't post the new menu until Tuesday. And we've gone there and it's like, okay, it's gonna be a surprise for us because we don't have an idea about what we're gonna have for today. But anyway, we're never disappointed about anything.
Yeah.
Of course, we love some meals more than others, but you are sure that no matter which day you go, you're gonna find something delicious and with high quality ingredients.
And even still, like when we're like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this. Like, for example, Mai hates guayaba. They had a guayaba dessert one day. And after having it, she wanted to go back there just for the guayaba dessert.
It was amazing. I don't know. I don't know if they have it chef or
or guava. Sorry, I started speaking Spanish.
Everything is so balanced. I hate guava, but the mix they fill it with the cream cheese and they made some
like a sauce,
like a sauce with cinnamon and some other things.
It was so good.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. But anyway, if you're not happy with the special meal of the week, they have a huge menu like with sandwiches and the sandwich of meatball sandwich. It's extraordinary. I really love it. So you can have a lot of options, and they have
and I love the German sausages. They're really good.
Yeah, they have like more than 100 varieties of beer in case you like beer, like Mexican and international beer. So it's a really good place. We love it. We enjoy it, and it's pet friendly.
Yeah, lots of people like to bring their dogs there. Henry with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Buenas noches, van a ver la película Avatar: The Way of Water. Van al cine seguido, muchas gracias y que pasen buenas noches. Oh, well, hi Henry, thanks for the super chat. He's basically asking if we are going to watch the new Avatar movie and if we go to the movies pretty often. Actually, we've never been to the movies together. I'm not a huge fan actually. I can go, but the movie has to be pretty interesting for me because I can't stand sitting in the same position or watching a movie for a long time. So I used to get super anxious also because of the changes of light when you are watching a movie. So it was not a good experience for me. Right now that I'm in my anxiety treatment, I think I can try it without feeling that fear that I'm not going to feel okay. But yeah, we haven't gone to the movies together. And actually, I would like to watch that movie because I've heard that it's pretty good. And I've read some things like how they made it and the effects, and they say that it's worth it. So
I'd like to go to a movie together. Jonathan asks, what's a great non-humid cooler city, or what great non-humid cooler cities would be great for slow travel? Well, here in Queretaro, honestly, almost all of central Mexico.
San Miguel de Allende, Ciudad de México.
I mean, like all of these, Puebla, Morelia.
Yeah, because Hidalgo, it's super cold and humid.
But yeah, there's lots of them. Basically, look at a map. Look anywhere except the coast. And then whatever cities appear are probably going to be the bigger cities. And probably any one of those cities, to be honest.
And also Tlaxcala. There's a myth that it doesn't exist, but it actually does. And it has pretty good places. Like Valquirico. I've been telling him we should go and show you a video because it's one of the places I've been wanting to go for a long time. It called the Mexican Italy.
It's like you're going into a medieval city. It's totally unexpected. It's not cheap. It's not a cheap place to go. Like looking at the Airbnbs there, it's like $100 plus a night. So yeah. Here's a question about Laska. How's Laska's knee? Uh, she's at like 90% after her surgery. So she had surgery back in March. I think it was around the end of March, and she's doing pretty well, but lately she's had more joint pain, been struggling going up and down the stairs more, things like that. Ever since her surgery, we have the bed, which is too high for her to get up onto now. But now we have an ottoman like below the bed, so she hops up on there and then onto the bed, since she can't really jump all the way up onto the bed anymore. But just ordered some new CBD oil for her, and that has helped her. And also, we took her to the vet who did her surgery and told him that she was starting to have some more joint pain. So he looked at her and ended up having us give her Flexidine and Flexidine Advance. And these things are pretty expensive. Like between those two things, it was like $170. And they're gonna last like 60 days. But yeah, so it's not the cheapest treatment ever, but after just a couple of days of taking that, I already noticed improvement.
Because she has been jumping like some hours ago that we brought the dog. She was jumping all over the sofas and they were running like crazy, and I was like, Laska, be careful.
Yeah. Pleasant Bulldog asks, "Hi Jordan, what are you using to film your videos? Is it a new piece of equipment?" So if you watch the video from yesterday, when I'm doing the home tour, or when I'm doing the tour of the first Airbnb, you can see in one clip the mirror, and you can see the camera I'm holding. And that's this tiny little camera. It was actually on a tripod, so it looks bigger, but it's this tiny camera that's on a gimbal. It's the DJI something. Damn, I forget. But it's like the creator kit. So it's pretty high quality camera, and for how tiny it is, it does surprisingly well in low light, and it's on a gimbal. You can flip it around, flip it back. I really love that thing. So been using that more, but also still a lot of the videos are recorded with the Sony RX107. Could you grab that quickly for me? I have her.
Sorry.
Whenever she moves, or when she's moving, her pants make it sound like she's farting. But
that's so annoying.
So this is the camera right here. But yeah, it has a flip up screen so you can see yourself. Yeah, great piece of equipment, and it's small. I like that. So that's basically the top of the line point and shoot that you can get.
I can put it back.
It's okay here, but thank you. Really great. What else do I use? Sometimes the GoPro 10. That's not the newest one. The newest one's 11. Considering getting the 11 because I really like the new GoPros. And with the new GoPro, you can film in like, it doesn't have to be vertical or horizontal. You can film in a way where you can create both vertical and horizontal videos out of the one video with just shooting it the normal way. So I really like that. So I'm thinking about getting that. Yeah, that's basically the rundown of the cameras. Also got a drone, but I haven't used that yet. I wanted to use that in Tlalpujahua, but I didn't. Gabe says, "You need marinara sauce to make pizza, and they don't have it there." Well, so it's been something that's been harder for me to find than some other things, but actually Costco here in Queretaro has been carrying it consistently. They sell it in a 3-pack, Kirkland brand. It's really good.
And also when I was a little girl, I remember that actually many of the pizzerias here in Mexico, as soon as I know, they prepare their own salsa. So my father used to bake pizza for us, and that was an activity that we really enjoyed because we were like doing pizza together, and he made the pizza dough and everything, and he used to cook the marinara. So many of the pizzerias here cook their own marinara. So we are used to, if we don't have something, we create it basically.
And pizza is
It's really
super
good.
popular here. Like pizza is probably almost as popular as tacos are here. It's one of the most popular foods across the whole country. So yeah, there's no shortage of pizza.
There are some pizzerias actually. I knew about one, the one that I told you that it has the pizza buffet, the Brewers Pizza. So that pizzeria, it's pretty interesting because the whole pizza, all pizza you can order there, it has a cheese on
In the
in the
crust,
crust.
stuffed crust pizza is what
Whole
we call
pizzas
that.
have cheese, and sometimes that it's pretty expensive if you order, like, for example, Domino's or something like that. So I love that. And also they started selling a variety of Mexican pizzas where, for example, instead of wearing the marinara, they use like smashed beans
Okay.
or something like that, and arrachera and peppers. So you can get the the pizza crust with a lot of Mexican stuff. So it's like a combination between a taco and pizza. And honestly, I love it. So that one has a very uncommon pizzas like a cochinita pibil pizza and some others that to me are really interesting. Those are pretty good. You can find it at the entrance of El Refugio. I think it has one there, and another one it's close to Centro, but it's really worth it. So they don't use the normal marinara, but you can find a lot of varieties of pizzas with the base of something else, and it's worth it.
And speaking of Mexican pizzas, when we go to Vegas, I need you to try Taco Bell's Mexican pizza. I actually really like Taco Bell's Mexican pizza. It's one of the few things I like on their menu
A
now.
follower sent me a photo by Instagram, and I was like, maybe I should try it, but I'm so scared.
Oh, somebody's waking up over here. Oh, she was just stretching.
She's not interesting.
Thank you. Yes, this is the DJI camera that I have. It's the Pocket 2 Creator Combo specifically. Nancy says, "Why don't you show your travels anymore?" Go check out our YouTube channel, Nancy. We've released a couple of traveling videos very recently. I'm going to post them in the chat here. Just yesterday, we put out this one. Just give me a moment to grab the link. Okay, now I'm posting it in the chat. And then there were a couple other videos that I made here in Queretaro in the couple days before that. So there's several new videos on the channel. But then before that one, we took a road trip up into the mountains of Queretaro and went to a magic town up there, Pueblo Mágico, which was really cool. And so check out those two videos to start, and there will be more coming. Who's that little girl running around?
Laska.
Is there a ghost? I was at that Chedraui today at noon, saw the adoption enclosure. Is it tough for an old dog to have a really young dog pestering them all the time? It could be.
It could be, but in this case, that's why we decided to give it a try with this dog, because it could be really like, it depends on the dog, basically. Because there are dogs, like younger dogs that like to annoy the older dogs. And that's something that we definitely really don't like it. But in this case, even when this dog is super young, she's not bothering Laska at all. So she's all the time with us. She's following me everywhere. Also, she came with me to the bathroom, and it's like, no, stay there. But anyway, she's totally apart from Laska. They are together with me just when I'm cooking or doing something in the kitchen. But besides that, she's in the yard playing or just lying in the sun, and Laska is doing her stuff. So I think this might be a good option because Laska keeps doing her normal life without anything else disturbing her. We decided to put her football outside in the yard, and Laska have her footballs inside here with us in the living room. So we are trying to figure out how to make things easier for both of them. But actually, yeah, Laska is basically saying the same she used to.
Cisco says, I took a P900 camera, looks like a DSLR, and the local police stopped me thinking I was a reporter. They almost wanted to confiscate it and not give it back. Tough times. Yeah. One of the things I don't like about having big cameras is just they're heavy and hard to travel with, hard to carry around. That's why this one's so great, because it's small, but it's super powerful, and it has a really great zoom on it for being such a small camera. And that DJI Pocket 2 that I have, ooh, that thing's so tiny that, like, even if you're in a place that doesn't allow recording, or where they're like kind of a pain in the ass about recording or giving you a hard time, it almost doesn't even look like a camera. It's much smaller than my phone. So that's pretty cool that you have this great camera on a gimbal that's tiny, so you can take that basically anywhere without problems. And nobody's going to think you're some kind of professional carrying that little thing around. Dean says, Queretaro versus Oaxaca for expat living. Initial thoughts? I was in Oaxaca last month, hope to visit Queretaro in February. What do you think about Oaxaca, Mai?
I think it depends on what you like most. I love Oaxaca. I love everything there, like the food, and it has a lot of sightseeing and things like that. Uh, Honestly, I don't know if I would live there, um, because Querétaro has like, I don't know how to say this, but it's a bigger city, even though it's not super big, but it has a lot of
It has a lot more to do.
it has a lot more to do. Even when it's a pretty calm city, it's safe. I like the weather. You can like travel around Querétaro and never get bored. It has a lot of things to do. There are so many different cultures and people from all over the world basically arriving to live here in Querétaro. So I don't know. If I've had to choose between both of those, I would definitely stay in Querétaro.
I would too. But with that said, there's a lot I love about Oaxaca. First of all, the food there is incredible. It probably the best food in the country. The food's amazing. So many awesome restaurants. And then also, like, it's probably the cultural epicenter of Mexico as well. Like, every day there's some parade down the street, there's some kind of celebration. But for me, Oaxaca has a couple big drawbacks. Number one is that of all of the places I've been in Mexico, I think Oaxaca is the least friendly towards foreigners. To me, I really get the feeling there that they do not want foreigners there. And also, it's really a culture of protesting. They protest everything there. So it's pretty frequent that stuff is getting spray painted all over, even like the 200 or 300-year-old churches, the super old aqueduct there, spray painting all over the place. Not uncommon for like windows to be broken. Like the last trip I took to Oaxaca, on the day I was leaving, there was some big protest where they destroyed one of the churches. They broke all of the windows. They trashed the inside of it. So they protest everything there. So, I mean, it's a cool place to visit, and I really like it for a lot of reasons. But for me, there's some downsides there as well. Victor asked, what kind of drone did I buy? I think it's the DJI Mini 2. And now there's the 3 out. But yeah, I'm not sure what the difference is between all of them anymore. Oh, we need to get caught up on. We're way back here. Okay, I'm sorry guys, but I'm skipping a bunch. Oh,
no,
sorry.
no, just okay.
I'm sorry. The comments moved on me. Clicked on the wrong one. Mike 50 Cal says, "Hey guys, Jordan, your hair is looking good even without the horn." Take care.
Horn, like a unicorn.
Yeah, if you don't know what he's referring to, a while back I did a Vegas video, and I didn't realize that until afterwards, after I got home and was looking at the footage, that the way I did my hair, I looked like a freaking unicorn. And ever since then, Mike has been commenting about my horn. Was the new dog checked out for any diseases before bringing it into the house? Parvo is very common in Mexico. She's had some vaccines, needs a couple more, I think.
I mean, if you are adopting a dog from
like an adoption agency,
like we are looking at, they have to follow a protocol. It's not like that's why we decided to do it that way, because they must have the surgery.
So basically, yeah, they get them sterilized, they give them all their vaccines, make sure they're healthy.
And they ask you that if you have another dog in the house, like to prove that it's vaccinated as well, that it's sterilized. So in this case, we've been doing it that way because it's safer for Laska, and of course, we don't have to make any risk about anything. So she's pretty healthy. She still have to like have her annual vaccines like Laska. Actually, Laska has to get another vaccine. But yeah, we are.
Yeah, Alaska's due for a rabies vaccine again. Mm-hmm. But yeah, all the adoption agencies here, they pretty much all operate the same way. They do a bunch of stuff like making sure the dog's healthy, making sure it has all its vaccines, that it's fixed, and then they'll have you fill out an adoption form, and then there will be a test period, maybe as short as 1 week, as long as 1 month, where you get to bring the dog home, try it out, see if it's going to work for you. And in the until they find someone for that, they have various foster families, like people who foster the dogs in the meantime. And yeah, after the trial period, if you want the dog, you pay like 1,000 pesos or something, $50.
Yeah, so they can keep helping more dogs, and yeah, you keep in contact with the adoption responsible all the time, and you have to have the dog always with a collar and a name tag and everything. You have to, so it's a very strong requirement. Otherwise, they're going to take out the dogs from you if you don't take care of it like it deserves to.
Mundo de PJ says, "Does Jordan miss seeing his family during the holidays?" So, living in another country, of course, I miss my family. At the same time, though, I'm pretty independent, so I don't need to be around my family all the time. I can't say I miss my family more during the holidays than other times of year. I think it's pretty equal, no matter what time of year it is. But yeah, I miss my family. Let's see the dog, please. Name? We don't have a name yet. But what's her name temporarily?
Albina.
Albina. But you want to see the dog? There she is. And if you missed the part of the live stream earlier, I'll play part of a quick video. I know some of you have been on here the whole time, so I won't bore you with the whole thing. But here's the new dog and Laska playing. Yeah. So that's Laska playing. Huskies kind of sound like they're fighting when they're playing, but yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so yeah, that's them.
She's been sleeping for almost an hour.
They're tired.
She's a puppy and she sleeps a lot.
Pat says, I rescued my dog in Mexico and brought her to Spain. I adopted her from the city shelter where they kill them after 48 hours. Don't give food or medicine, different from what you describe. Well, these are private charities, and that's different from the city shelter. Like, I don't know exactly how it works in Queretaro, but I've heard stories that it's not great either. But do you know anything about
About what?
if the city of Querétaro picks up a dog on the street, do you know what's going to happen?
No, honestly, I don't.
But
they take care of it and they put in adoption. Actually, Querétaro, I think it's one of the states in Mexico which cares more about the street
animals,
dogs
yeah.
and animals. I mean, they pick them up. Actually, they have a society or something like that you can
Okay.
call if you find a dog in the street, or for example your neighbor is not taking well care of their dogs, you call
Yeah.
them and they make like a review of the case, and if the dog is in danger or something, they pick it up, they take care of it, and after that they put in adoption. Actually, they have like I don't know, like an event monthly or something like that, where you can go and see the dogs, and they have a WhatsApp number where they can sell you like the all the dogs that are in adoption, and they follow a very strict protocol as well. And also, what else? Yeah, if you find any other kind of animal, like wild animal, like watches or whatever, they go and rescue it as well
Oh,
with
okay.
cats. So, and also they made a lot of monthly campaigns of sterilization for dogs and cats, so you can take your dogs, and most of the time it's for free, or you have to
okay.
pay just a very small amount of money. So actually we were surprised because we went to where it was, I don't remember, I think Huasca, Hidalgo, or somewhere, and there were a lot of street dogs, and your dogs and our heart were like, oh, why this is happening, because all they were super hungry and we wanted to feed them all. But here in Querétaro, yeah, of course there are street dogs, but not as much at any other parts of Mexico.
Oh, here comes Laska.
Here comes Laska.
Oh, we'll see how this goes.
Laska.
Can we see the Christmas tree? Yes. And if you haven't watched yesterday's video, go watch that, because we got the ornaments there at this town and then put them on the Christmas tree.
And now it has our names on it. You can't see them.
Yeah, so
on the other side, but
there's Jordan. Is that the only one you can see? I think you can see part of a name right here, but it's hard to read. Well, the animals.
Dun, dun, dun.
Laska, she's in your spot. Laska, come here.
Laska, ven. Vete, dog. Vete, dogcito.
See, she has some pain, like she struggles laying down a little bit, standing up, things like that. But the new stuff, the Flexidine and Flexidine Advance has been helping her. Go ahead and lay down, Laska. Lay down. Room Hat says, bought the trial rocket languages because of you guys yesterday. It's pretty dope. Hey, thanks a lot. Really appreciate you using our link. Yeah, it's honestly a really great course. And if anyone else is interested in it, you can go to tangerinespanish.com and that will take you right there. what will YouTube be gifting Laska and the puppy this Christmas? Well, oh, you know what, Maya? We only have 3 stockings.
I know. But we still haven't decided if we're going
Yeah.
to keep the dog.
Well, we were going to put some cookies from Petco and Laska's.
Yeah.
And
if we keep the dog, well, more cookies and another stocking because we only have 3.
Ray asked, do you guys have live chats on the same days and times? Not really, Ray. But when we do, it's often on Sunday evenings. But sometimes there's some others mixed in there. Uh-oh, what's happening?
She's just sniffing.
Miguel says Alaska.
Sniffing.
Are the dogs barking in your neighborhood when you're trying to sleep? Aww. No, our neighborhood is pretty quiet, thankfully.
The dogs, there are some dogs that they're crazy, but this is priceless.
Rock Doc says, just made a reservation at Cabo Sierra. You're going to love it.
Yeah, let us know what you think because, yeah, I will love that place.
What's your new dog's name? We don't have a name for her yet.
Because we were talking about that recently, and honestly, we don't want to make like a lot of decision about it. We don't want to get too excited, even though we like it, and they are basically in peace right now. We haven't made our final decision yet, so we're just calling it by her name, like the name they put her.
And I keep forgetting what that is.
Albina. She actually understands, but yeah, as soon as we are not 100% sure that we are going to keep it, I think we won't look for names.
I'm surprised that they're both on the sofa together right now.
Yeah, I have
without
a photo.
problems.
I think you should show it.
Can we put it like this?
No, wait.
Oh?
Because I have, but let me change this because I have that.
You have the lock on. Okay.
So I'm my mom. Sorry, mom. There. Right there.
Okay. Henry with the $4.99 super chat. Thanks, Henry. Jordan, do you still use a Mac computer for some editing and everyday browsing? Yes, I have a Mac laptop, which I'm using right now, and it's streaming from this. I also have the Mac Mini, which I use as like a desktop computer. I really love the Mac Mini with that M1 chip. And then do you use a MacBook?
Yeah.
She does. You need a new computer though. You have an older one and it's slow.
He keeps saying that my computer is old. Yeah, it's kind of old.
You always use your phone instead whenever.
Most of the time. Because when the only thing I like do on my computer is just my bills and my monthly reports and nothing else actually. But I don't use my computer much. I hate being stuck on the computer the whole day. That's why when I'm posting something on Instagram or whatever, I'm just using my phone because it's faster. But yeah, I don't think I need a computer unless I get more involved with the channel and help you with some other social media. But actually, we haven't done that yet, so it's not a priority.
What kind of dog is Laska again? She's a Siberian Husky. Candace asks, is it a real tree? Trees are not common for Mexico, right? It is a real tree. Yeah, did this one come from the state of Mexico? Toluca? Yeah. So up in the mountains, like that's pretty high elevation. You're looking at 10 or 11,000 feet above sea level. But yeah, the place from yesterday's video, that the whole town is surrounded by pine trees.
Yeah, but actually, there's something you might know. There are a lot of places here that sell Christmas tree, but they have to be certificated by the Semarnat, la Secretaría de la Naturaleza or something, I don't know. But anyway, they have to be certified. I mean, there are some places that are dedicated to grew Christmas trees and they cut it and sell it to you. And actually, it has to have a tag. Do you remember you asked me? It was a red tag.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So actually, it has it there, and you get a number like a folio or something like that.
Oh.
That it tells you that this tree is legal. Because
Okay.
there are a lot of people that are just cutting trees illegal, and that's not fair.
And they're growing them in a Christmas tree farm, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They're growing them
Yeah.
for the purpose
Yeah,
of
for the purpose of business and the dogs. And nothing else. So yeah, be sure if you want to a natural Christmas tree, be sure that it's certified, that it's legal. And in this case, we got it for provider we found at Facebook Market, but I found that it was very high rated. And actually, I really love irritation because they were super formal about what they said. And I think the price for our Christmas tree was really fair because I was looking at some Christmas tree today that we went to Juriquilla,
Yeah.
and they were like almost the same price that we paid for that one and half of the size.
Okay.
So it was like, wow.
How much did we pay?
1,000 pesos.
1,000? That's all?
Yeah.
I thought it was more than that.
No, 1,000 pesos, but it's almost 2 meters.
So that's
tall.
about $50.
Yeah.
I had never had a real Christmas tree in my life, so I wanted one. But maybe after Christmas is over, we'll buy an artificial tree for upcoming years. Artificial trees are easier and you can use them every year, but I wanted to have a real tree at least once in my life.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, let's do it. But yeah, I think it has its pros and cons. Honestly, I've always had artificial Christmas trees all my life, and this time while we were trying to decorate this new Christmas tree, it was hard because it doesn't have like the layers or form like the artificial one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it has like kind of spines all over it.
It hurts.
It hurts to decorate.
It hurt putting on all the ornaments.
So I was using my gardening gloves so I won't get hurt, but it was really, really painful to decorate it. And we were like, okay, you know what? Maybe we should just rethink about it and just get an artificial for the next year. But the experience was kind of fun.
Regarding another question, Miguel says, Macs are really expensive in Mexico, so they're not as common as other types of computers. Yeah, I mean, like in the US, they're the more expensive computer here. A lot of people still have them, at least here in Queretaro. Like you go to a Starbucks, you'll see a lot of people working on their Mac. But yeah, but a way that a lot of people buy things here, buy the more expensive things like a new phone or a new computer, is a lot of the banks or credit cards will offer meses sin intereses, or months without interest. So how many months can you get like without interest if you go to buy a big purchase like a laptop?
It depends more in the bank.
Okay.
Because, for example, BBVA, that is the one that I use.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't offer a lot of months like
is it like
any
6
other
or
banks? Any other banks? Like for example, as soon as remember with BBVA, you had like 13 or 14 months without interest, but other banks go further, like 24 months or something like that. So in this case, yeah, BBVA, it goes like from 3 months to 13 or 12 months, but it's the one that gives you like more chance to do that.
Okay.
And the other ones go way farther. But
okay.
Honestly, it's fair. Like,
but yeah, that's how a lot of people buy a thing like a MacBook here. They'll get the meses sin intereses through their bank or through their credit card, and then each month on your statement, it will say this is the amount you have to pay to avoid any interest charges.
And actually, every month it's easy if you do it that way, because you have to pay like I don't know, but the amount of
let's say 1,000 pesos a month.
Yeah, 1,000 pesos a month. So it's like to get a very high quality equipment or something like that. But
yeah. Ray asked, "Hey Jordan, will you be visiting the Pueblo Mágico of Jiquilpan, Michoacán?" I'm not familiar with that place. Do you know about it?
I think I've been there some where when I was younger. But Michoacan, it's really beautiful. I love Michoacan, but we don't feel super safe there. Actually, I don't.
The drive to Tlalpujahua wasn't. I thought that was
It
easy.
wasn't bad. I was super nervous, but it was okay. It was better than I expected. But actually, Tlalpujahua, it's considered a safe road after asking to some of my friends. But there are some places that I wouldn't go unless that it's like in like daylight, and it scares me a lot to get through Salaya and all that thing. So even when it's like it might be a toll road, it scares me.
Do you script your videos or just make it up as you go? At very best, I'm going to have like a very rough outline of what kind of order. Or like, for example, I just did 2 videos in the last week that are up on the channel. 10 common misconceptions about Mexico and 12 reasons why I'd move to Mexico in 2023. And for those, basically I have the list of everything, but they're just bullet points, nothing more. So yeah, that's kind of the extent of the scripting that I do. Candace says, I didn't think Mexico celebrated with Christmas trees. Well, at least a lot of people do, because we just went out to dinner with one of my friends that she went to physical therapy school with. And is she shocking you?
Yeah, a lot. Because she was like walking all over the sofa, and every time I touch her, like, oh, she's better now.
But yeah, we went out to dinner with one of my friends, and she was saying how like she didn't have a Christmas tree and she was really sad, but she ended up getting one. But yeah, Maya was going to be really sad if she didn't have a Christmas tree. Her friend was going to be really sad if she didn't have a Christmas tree. So.
We love Christmas trees. Laska, you're gonna shock me again if you keep doing that. I can listen to it. Bye.
Kyle says, "Hey guys, we'll be in Mexico City for the first time next week. We'll be there for 3 weeks and curious if you have any absolute must-see or do's you'd suggest for our time there." Yeah, I have a couple for you. Number 1, go to Museo Sumaya, I think is what it's called. Museo, is this the spelling?
No, let me look for it because I'm not sure.
It's something like this. If you search that, it'll come up. I probably misspelled it, but
you were right.
Okay, but even the building itself is a work of art. Like the building is amazing. The whole thing is owned by Carlos Slim, the richest guy in Mexico, and everything inside is owned by him as well. Basically, it's his personal art collection, personal coin collection, ivory collection, and all this stuff. There's huge painting by Diego Rivera in there. And basically to store everything and allow it to be viewed by the public, he just stores it all there. And you get to go in there for free. At least it was free when I went. It has like 5 or 6 levels to it, and it's incredible. And it's free, so that's cool. People say really good things about, I think that's an anthropological museum or something. I haven't been there though.
It's amazing. We should go there someday.
Yeah.
And Castillo de Chapultepec.
That's the next thing I was going to recommend. And also something that I thought was pretty interesting was right next to the Zocalo, the main square in Mexico City, are these ancient ruins. They built over most of them when the Spanish came here. Most of the stuff got destroyed, but there's still some ancient ruins there that are literally right next to the Zocalo. I forget what they're called, but That's pretty interesting too. I went in there, and if for no other reason other than the location, it's just crazy. Evelyn asks, how about credit scores or FICO scores for purchases? So the Mexico credit score system is separate from the US. So if you want to build credit in Mexico, you can. You can start off by like getting a credit card from the department store at Liverpool, and they'll give you a really small, uh, like a really small credit line. But then you can build that up over time, and eventually maybe you'll have enough credit to get a car, or perhaps even a house. But almost all the foreigners who are buying a home in Mexico are paying cash because very few foreigners have any type of credit history here. And I have yet to start building my Mexican credit. I really should. Any plans to go to San Miguel de Allende soon? I mean, there's nothing in the books. Our upcoming trips are Vegas next week. In January, we're going to Cancun. We were going to go to Cabo, but plans changed. It was hard to book that hotel there that I was trying to book. So I decided to use some Hilton points to book one in Cancun instead. I think in February we're going to go to Mazatlan, but that's still up in the air. We just talked about it for the first time today.
Outside it's so cold.
Okay, so here's some good recommendations for you for places to see and go in Mexico City. And I agree with.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's just water.
I woke her up. She's looking at me like, why are you screaming?
Roberto says the anthropology museum is insane. Didn't get to see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll have to go.
It's insane.
Mario asks, as I'm new to your YouTube channel, why do you visit Vegas often? Also, do you plan to travel more around Mexico? So I was going to Vegas a lot before I even had a YouTube channel. I just really liked going, and I learned a lot of tips and tricks and hacks to basically go there, have a lavish vacation, spending very little money. So that's something I like about it, but I also like the shows. I like all the free top shelf drinks while gambling. Like basically you can just have if you know enough of the right tricks, you can have an incredible time and not spend very much money and stay in a 5-star hotel. So that's kind of what I like about it. And it's very different from my everyday life here. And also started going there and making some videos, and they turned out to be very popular. They're some of the most popular videos on the channel. So they help out the channel a lot. Like I don't think I'd be able to survive off YouTube income if it wasn't for the Vegas videos, because those videos are so consistent in views that they get, like, for example, I made one on Vegas shows, my last trip there. And every single day that video earns me like $10, which like you get enough of those videos, you're starting to look at some real income there. So I like going, and they're really good for the channel. That's basically why I go. What's on the menu for Christmas dinner? I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Oh, you have no
Either.
idea. What's typical here?
Well, I thought you were asking what we were going to have for Christmas dinner this year, but actually I don't know. It depends on the families. For example, when I was younger and I was celebrating Christmas with my father's family that lived at Michoacan, it was a very traditional religious way to celebrate Christmas. So it was different every year, but basically the whole family used to cook the Christmas dinner. We got reunited, and if we had mole, well, everybody was preparing mole. If we had tamales, well, we were all preparing tamales. So it was more Mexican food when I was at Michoacan celebrating Christmas. After my grandparents died, well, we stood here with some friends, and that was different because we prepare like mashed potatoes or turkey, something like Thanksgiving dinner that you showed me. We had that for Christmas, and we were like kind of out of the traditional Mexican food Christmas dinner. But actually, it's totally different. You can find a lot of options. There are also now some people that actually get out of cooking Christmas dinner because at the end you end that the night super tired. So we're going out for tacos, or we order pizza or something that is easier and just wearing our pajamas. So it's more like informal, but we still like to celebrate with our family and friends. And food hasn't it's important, of course, but the thing is that if you cook something, whatever it is, you get reunited and cook it together. And other families prepared bacalao.
I don't
It's
know what that is.
cod, I think.
Cod? Is it a fish?
A fish, yeah.
Okay.
And they prepare it with olives and potatoes. It's pretty good. I love it. It's one of the traditional food that actually you should try. And we eat it with a baguette.
Okay.
So it's pretty good. Or romeritos, that the fresh, the things that we saw at Costco. That you said, I didn't know that they had
Romero is
rosemary, like
rosemary.
fresh,
That's a word.
like rosemary, but fresh rosemary, and they prepare it with. They clean it. I don't know the process honestly because I've never cooked that, but they cleaned it and they prepare it with mole. So romeritos with mole, like rosemary with mole, it's another traditional Christmas dish here. And after that, I don't know honestly. What are we gonna have this Christmas? I don't know.
Gabe says, how can Jordan afford making trips to Vegas but not a car? Oh, well, Gabe, I do have a car now. We do have a car. After quite a few months of saving up for a car, finally bought one a few months ago. So yeah, I was able to save up for that. But how do I afford trips to Vegas? You have to think of it like this. For me, there's personal expenses and there's business expenses. For a business expense, like a trip to Vegas, that earns me money. So like if I don't pay for that trip to Vegas, I'm losing money because the trip to Vegas is earning money, right? So there's business expenses and personal expenses. So like things like that, I need
It's like
to
an investment.
Yeah, exactly. I need to make that investment. Otherwise, I'm not going to get the gain from it, right? So there's a lot of things that we do in our videos that are for those purposes, like an experience that we wouldn't do otherwise, or going to a restaurant that we wouldn't go to otherwise, things like that, because people like seeing different kinds of stuff. Henry, thanks for the super chat. Jordan, what are the chances of someday writing a book about tangerine travels in Mexico? How about starting a podcast? Thoughts from you both. Writing a book, I don't think I want to write a book. One day, a few years ago, I sat down with the idea that I was going to write a book. I got half a page in. I'm like, no way am I ever going to finish this. Like, I like the idea in my head, but no, it's not happening. Starting a podcast, I'd consider that.
I've always wanted to write a book, but I don't know. I've never thought about 10-year travels because actually it's like something really new for me. But I thought that maybe could be cool to share my experience with anxiety because it's a process. And sometimes you feel that you're not understand at all. So I don't know, maybe I'm going to do it, maybe not. But yeah, writing a book, it's like a goal that I had like for a very long time.
Okay.
A dream I'm going to do it.
Mexican Spec says the car is also business expense, and it is, but with a lot slower payback period than like a Vegas trip. For example, buy a car and then take a bunch of trips with that, go all around town filming. Yeah, after a number of videos, yeah, the car will be paid back. But trip to Vegas, one video, typically, if it does well, like most of the Vegas videos do, the trip is paid for, and then the rest of the videos are just profit. AMC to the moon. Good to see you guys. Vegas flights are fairly affordable. I live in Vegas and fly to Mexico for about $250-ish round trip. Yeah, you can usually get to Las Vegas or LAX. The trips, the flights usually aren't too bad. Also JFK in New York, but I don't usually find many reasons to go to JFK. But anyway, thank you all for joining. Before the live stream started, we ordered a pizza and we asked them to have it ready at 8. So we have 14 minutes to go grab that pizza. Thank you all for joining and commenting and hanging out with us. It's been fun to tell you guys about the new pup and catch you up on our live.
We'll let you know our final decision when we made it.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks to everyone who sent super chats and all that. And thank you to the moderators. Really appreciate all of you. If you haven't seen them yet, go check out yesterday's video and the other recent videos that we've released on Tangerine Travels. The last few videos, YouTube hasn't showed it to very many people. So head on over there now and check those out. I think you'll like them. So anyway, we'll see you over there.